So hi again, YouTube. I wanted to come on here and do, I guess, a few videos on answered prayer. I love telling stories about when God answered prayer. I find they're fun to tell and also encouraging, and I know it encourages others. And so this has to do with some flowers that I had asked God for. And so, good grief, it's probably over a decade ago, I was going to have an art show, which in and of itself was an answer to prayer, which would be another story. But the day before the art show, I just, for some reason, I just really wanted some flowers. Now, the gallery that was running the show for me, I think they did provide flowers, but I didn't, I didn't think that they would. And so anyway, for some reason, I just really, really wanted there to be some flowers. And so the day before, my husband and I had been at Costco, and I they had a display of flowers there, and I really was like, oh, I guess I could get some of these. And my husband pointed out, don't waste money on that, because, if you look at them, they're not in the greatest condition. And I looked at them and I'm like, okay. And so anyway, that night, I prayed before bed, and I was just like, God, I really want some flowers. I really want some flowers. It was really just something about it. I just wanted them so badly. And also too, I think what it was like just like a part of a celebration of, I had done all this work when it came to my paintings and drawings, and also it wasn't my first showing of my work, but it was my first in a gallery showing of my work. And to me, that was like a significant milestone. And so for me, flowers is kind of like balloons for a party, but in this case, flowers for celebrating what was happening. And I just really wanted that. When I was growing up, I didn't have a sweet 16, I didn't go to prom, or I didn't really have any special milestone marker type things. And so anyway, so for this situation, it was just like, I have to have some flowers. I just do. And so the next morning of the day of my show, I prayed again, and I just woke up, and again it was just like, God, I really would like some flowers for my art show. And anyway, that night we had the show, and people were coming in, and my parents show up, and they come in, and they have a nice bouquet of Gabbera daisies. And I love Gabbera daisies. I think it's Gabbera daisies. It's the ones that are magenta and orange and all these different colors. And I just think they're so cheerful, and they're really fun. They're kind of, they're from a cartoon or something. And they walk in, and they present me with this bouquet of Gabbera daisies. And the thing is I'd never told them that I liked Gabbera daisies, and I didn't ask them for flowers. And so it was like, oh my goodness. And I don't think I'd even seen Gabbera daisies in years. I used to work as a barista when I was younger, and we used to have a florist that would come in every week and bring flowers for the store. And he would freshen up the vases every week. And one day he brought in the Gabbera daisies. I'd never seen them, and I was like, these are just the most cheerful things I've ever seen. These are really wonderful. And I don't think I'd seen them since then. I mean, maybe I did at the grocery store in a magazine or something, but off the top of my head, in person, I don't recall. I hadn't seen them in forever. So anyway, that was amazing. And so, and the show went on, and then a little bit later, a good friend of mine, her and her husband come walking in with a bouquet of flowers, and they were a bouquet of some flowers that I absolutely loved and were in the color that I liked. She gave me, they gave me a bouquet of, I think, lilies and orchids, and they were the kind that are still slightly green. And so it was just like, oh my goodness. And so anyway, I was just so touched, and I knew that, and I know that God knew how much, I'm gonna start crying. God knew how much that meant to me. And it was just a little prayer. It was just like, but it was a really in my heart prayer. Like, God, I really would like some flowers. And he, he really showed up. He really showed up with that, you know, and not one, but two. And, you know, one of them I consider like the fun bouquet, and the other one was the more serious bouquet. I had orchids at my wedding, and so they're kind of an important flower to me. And so, and I know that God knows that, and so he spoke to that part of my heart, and it was really special. And so anyway, one of the reasons I'm doing these a little series here of videos about answered prayer is because encouragement. And you know, the Bible says that we have a God who is not far off. He is very near, and he answers prayers, and we're supposed to pray about everything. And he does answer prayer, little big prayers, little prayers, just prayers where just like, I would like some flowers, just little things, you know. And so you know, I would encourage you that if you're going through any struggles or anything, or there's anything you need, or maybe just something you just want, you know, ask him. I mean, it doesn't mean he'll always answer, you know, that saying of, you know, God's answers are yes, no, and not now, you know, and sometimes it's just not the timing. It's just the timing. It's not right yet. Or God knows you don't actually need it now, but you might need it or later. Often our answers to prayer come from people, and so it has to be kind of lined up, you know, that your paths will cross that day, or maybe they're cross country and they need to move to your area, or, you know, I don't know. But often it's timing, because of, you know, the answers to prayer come, God uses people, he works through people. And so anyway, that's helped me out a lot. Like, it took me years to like piece that one together. But now that, you know, I think about it when I get frustrated, like, God, you know, I prayed for this and prayed for this. Why hasn't the answer happened yet? Oftentimes it's people, you know, we're waiting for someone, and to bring the thing or the answer or the whatever it is. And so and God uses people that way. So anyway, that was my answer to prayer with flowers. And so anyway, I hope you guys are having a good week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.